Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's live video. You guys, I am trying something new today. I am actually streaming on all the platforms like I normally do, but also on Instagram. So I'm hoping that it's coming out okay. You got to try new things, right? This is just how we roll. So hopefully those of you who are over on Instagram, you are being able to rock with me and jive with me. I'll be able to go back later and kind of see how this whole process turns out and figure out if I did it correctly or if I actually like how it transitions over to Instagram. So anyway, what is up, you guys? I am excited because we are doing a mid-month check-in. So hey, every single person coming in, I see you. What's up, Coach Paul? What's up, Winifred? So glad to see you today. You guys are amazing. Thanks for rocking with me. But I can't wait to do this check-in because I really want to help some people today, right? We are in the middle of the month, and a lot of times, here's about the time where people who haven't like hit their new year goals and the habits they wanted to create and the routines and all of that, if they haven't quite felt successful, it's about that time where they want to kind of to step back. They kind of feel defeated, right? So I'm here to help y'all today. We are not going to feel defeated. We're going to talk through this today because I want you to know that it is not too late to have a day one, right? But let's talk about maybe why it was a little bit rocky starting off the new year and then just start again, right? The enemy would love for you to think that, you know what? It's 2 weeks in. I haven't done what I'm supposed to do. Just forget it. I'll just not worry about it. No, we are going to do what God has called us to do because we have to think about this, the habits and the routines and the goals that God has for us. It's bigger than today, right? So that the things that we implement into our life today, it affects how we're going to fulfill his plans and his purposes for the future. And so that's why we can't quit. That's why this is so important. So I'm so excited to just rock with you guys. What's up, my girl Trika's in the house? So great to see you. I see you, Coach Angel. Y'all are so great. Thanks for rocking out with me. So let's talk about some reasons why people may have fallen off just a little bit so that they can get back on the wagon. Am I allowed to say that? The wagon? We're getting back on the wagon today. So sometimes people fall off like after these first few weeks is because their motivation starts to kind of to dwindle down, right? At the beginning of the year, you're like fired up. You're like, yo, let's go. It's a new year. I'm ready to rock. And we're so motivated. And then that motivation, what happens, it starts to kind of decrease a little bit. So if that's you, if you can identify with that, what I want you to do is go back to your why. Like, what was the reason that you had these initial goals? What was the reason why you had these initial routines? You have to reconnect with that because here's the thing, our why has to be bigger than how we feel in the moment. So yes, our motivation, we may not have felt like doing what it is that we know we're supposed to do, but again, I'm not led by how I feel. I'm led by what God has called me to do. These are my goals because it doesn't just affect me. As kingdom people, right? We know that whenever God gives us something, it's so much bigger than us. And so that's why we're not going to like fall back because there are people assigned to our assignment, right? Get this in the chat. There are people assigned to me. Write it, underline it if you're writing in a journal, capitalize it, all the things. We have to recognize this, that people are attached to what we're doing. And so that's how we're going to build our motivation back up because the motivation comes from wanting to reach the people that God has called us to reach. Okay. Another reason why people may have fallen off the wagon, so to speak, here at the beginning of the year is because y'all, it can be difficult to start a new habit. And some people underestimate the time and the effort that it actually takes to form new habits. Actually, on my podcast this week, I talk about this, right? That habits take time. We have to give ourselves the grace and the space to develop the habit. So if we go and we're doing well for a couple of days and we mess up a day or two, guess what? Just start again. We have to give ourselves that space to make the mistakes If we fall off the wagon and then we quit, we're never giving ourselves an opportunity to develop. So if that's you, if you can identify with that today, here's what I want you to do. Number one, just be patient with yourself. Be patient and recognize it's one day at a time. You may be thinking, man, I want to do this for the next 6 months. I want to go to the gym for the next 6 months. Can you just go to the gym today? Can you just do the one thing today? What's the one thing today that you can do? I'm telling myself that with my water. So, in full disclosure, a habit I am really trying to get better at this year is being more consistent with drinking water. And I have a certain number of ounces that I want to drink every day. But when I think about how many ounces that is, y'all, I'll be like, whoo, Jesus, I don't know. But what I'm having to do is say, you know what? One bottle of water at a time. So you know how some people have those, there's some cute like little jugs out there where people fill up their water bottle to like a gallon and they see it go down like during the day. Mm-mm. That I don't need that in my life. Because I see those 64 ounces or however many ounces, and your girl be like, "No," because that represents 64 trips to the bathroom for me, and I'm like, "Your girl ain't got time to have 64 trips to the bathroom." I'm just saying. So for me, now you may not be like me. For me, I can't see the whole 64 ounces. Let me just get one water bottle at a time because I can handle that. I'm like, okay, one water bottle. I know that's one trip to the bathroom and it's going to be okay. I see y'all can relate to me. Hey, what's up, Coach Kelly joining on YouTube? I see you also, Marissa. Hey, y'all. Thanks for hopping in here today. But yeah, one thing at a time. All right. Another reason why some people might fall off the wagon as the new year starts is the goals that they set, they seem overwhelming for them, right? Like maybe you've set a lot of goals or big goals, and I'm all about that. But I subscribe to once I get my big goal, I break them down into smaller milestones, right? Because sometimes when we see a big goal, we feel so far away from the end, right? For example, last year I had a goal of running a 5K and that seemed like a big like way out there. Like can I actually run 3 miles, you know? But I had this app on my phone that broke it down into like smaller milestones. Like hey, we're just going to run. Can I get to a mile? Right? Let's work out. Let's build our endurance up. Let's get to 1 mile. And then before you know it, let's work up. Now I can run 2 miles. And then before you know it, now I can run 3 miles. Right? I had to break that into smaller segments. So maybe you're looking at your January goals and things that you want to do. And you're like, listen, it feels so far away. Well, let's break it down to what you can accomplish that feels a little bit closer. And then you take a step and a step and a step and a step. Don't let the enemy make you feel overwhelmed with your goals. Now remember, we get our goals from the Lord. Those of us who are kingdom, those of us who are Christ followers. We get our goal, we dream with God and we get our goals from the Lord. Nothing that God gives us is designed to be overwhelming. And so if we feel overwhelmed with our goals, and that means it's us, like we're looking at it wrong, doing something wrong. So we have to reevaluate. Like, okay, I know God gave me this. So it's not supposed to be overwhelming. Let me pause. Let me go back to him. Okay, God, this is what you've called me to do. How can I break this up to smaller milestones? What makes sense? Lead me in that. And I'm telling you, every time God will lead you because God wants you to accomplish the goal as well. All right. Another reason why people may have fallen off the wagon this year is because of a lack of accountability. And I'm telling you, I need accountability in my life, right? We have to have someone who can check up on us. I always say that people only invest in what people inspect, right? So you may be wanting to do things that invest in you, invest in your personal health, invest in your intelligence. Maybe you want to read a couple books this year. Maybe you want to invest and run your business a certain way. But if no one's inspecting that, you're not going to invest. You're not going to invest the time. You're not going to invest the money. You're not going to invest when someone is not inspecting it. And so I welcome accountability. And if you can resonate with that, if you have not already ask someone to be your accountability partner for this year, I encourage you, like, do that today, right? We need people in our lives who can ask us the tough questions. We need people in our lives who can look at our blind spots, right? We need people in our lives who want us to be successful, and they're going to speak those words of encouragement and also pray for us, right? The enemy would love for you to feel discouraged, but if you have that accountability partner, you can go to them and say, "Hey, I'm feeling discouraged today, right? Help me out. Pray with me. Pray for me." It is so important that we have accountability partners in our corner. All right. One more thing I want to say, as far as people, one more reason why people may have fallen off the wagon as we're in the middle of January. And this is a big one, you guys. This is distractions and procrastination. Daily distractions, oh my goodness, they come in all shapes, form, and sizes, but they all come from one source. I'm convinced, from the enemy. We have things that daily distract us, and they interrupt what it is that we know we're supposed to be doing. I don't know what is distracting you. I don't know. It may be an internal distraction, like a thought pattern, a limiting belief. It may be an external distraction, like something someone said, or your notifications going off 24/7. I don't know what that is for you, but we all have distractions. Like, I don't know anyone who lives a life distraction free, but what I can say is we can have a plan to manage these distractions, right? If I know my phone is a distraction, guess what? I can put it on do not disturb. If I know this mindset of mine is a distraction, I can begin to speak God's word over myself to eliminate that distraction. Years ago, when I was writing my first book, the enemy would distract me with this thoughts of, I don't know what to write. I would sit down to write, and the enemy would be lying and chattering in my ear, like, you're not going to know what to write, you're not going to know what to say, that kind of thing. So what I had to start doing was every day declaring over myself that I am a skilled writer and God tells me what to write. And I would say that to myself over and over and over and over. And the result of that was my mindset changed, right? So now when I sat down to write, I wasn't phased by the lie of the enemy because I already was speaking truth over myself. And so I eliminated that distraction, right? I don't know what's a distraction in your life, but I would encourage you to implement something to either manage or get rid of the distraction in real time. Okay. You may need to, if you are distracted by your physical space, I don't know, maybe you're someone and you're sitting down and man, you see that laundry basket over there of clothes that needed to be folded, and all of a sudden your mind is thinking about the 50 million things you should be doing in your house instead of sitting and writing and reading, doing whatever it is that God tells you to do, right? Maybe that's you. Maybe you have to change your locations. So it's okay. Let me tell you what was a distraction for me today, y'all. This is real life. So my office is in a part of my house that's not connected to the central heat and air of the entire house, right? So I do have like a little bit of a heater in my office, but the temperatures right now, I don't know what it is. Let me know in your part of the country how cold it is. I'm telling y'all, it is abnormally cold where I live right now. I don't know. We done had a whole winter situation. Okay. So my heater that normally is, even when it's cold outside, normally I'm good. Today, your girl wasn't good. I came down to my office and I was like, oh my goodness, it's cold. And I was working for a little bit, but after a while, listen, I all I could think about was I'm cold. It was a distraction. So what did I have to do? I had to change my location. So I literally I grabbed what I needed out of my office. I grabbed my laptop. Your girl went upstairs to the kitchen table where it was warm. And then I had a great day. I had on my worship music, had on like had my music playing and I was writing and it was great. So listen, you just have to figure out what you need to do to get rid of or manage the distraction. So I'm seeing all the comments coming in. Coach Kelly, did you say 14 degrees? Hold on. Yeah, it's cold where you live too. Another one said it's 29 degrees in Fairfax Valley. Oh my goodness, 29 degrees, y'all. I don't know how cold it is here. I think it was like 14 yesterday. It may be a little bit better today. All I know is your girl was cold and that was a distraction. So, anyway, I hope y'all are staying warm. But yeah, I had to eliminate that distraction. So I don't know what that looks like in your life, but make the decision that whatever you need to do, you're going to implement that. So I hope you were encouraged today. Like, I know we're in the middle of the month and it's easy to just like bail on your goals if you haven't really hit them so far this year. Don't do that. Don't do that. Your goals are worth it. They are worth it. They are worth it because they're attached to people that you have been assigned to. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I see y'all lighting up the comments. Let me know, what is one thing that you oh, thank you, Coach Kelly. She says 18 in my city. Whoo, yeah, it's cold. Tell me in the comments something that you want to focus on the rest of this month. Maybe you want to focus on eliminating distractions. Maybe you want to focus on overcoming procrastination. Maybe you want to grab an accountability partner. Maybe you want to break your goal down into smaller pieces, right? Maybe you just need to, for these next 2 weeks of January, maybe you just need to show yourself a little bit more grace and be a little bit more patient and recognize that it's going to take time to develop habits. Or maybe you need to revisit your why again. Tell me in the comments, what is something these last 2 weeks of January that you're like, you know what? I need to focus on this so I can finish my month strong. I got Trika saying eliminating distractions. Let's go. I have Sanja. She's saying strength training. Yes, yes, and yes. I have Lydia on Instagram saying the enemy is trying hard today. Listen, we ain't got time for him. We got to focus on what God has called us to do. I appreciate y'all letting me know what you're going to do in the comments. Be accountable to that. Stick with it. Coach Kelly says she's going to focus on creating new habits. I love it. I love it. I love it. For me, I'm going to revisit my why again, right? Because there's a lot of things the Lord has asked me to do this year. There's a lot of writing that He has asked me to do, and that requires a lot of shifting, even more shifting in my schedule so I can have the bandwidth to do that. And I have to go back to my why. I have to go back to this is so much bigger than me. Because sometimes sitting in an office with your laptop and just writing, it can like you could feel like, man, when you're not interacting with people, like, am I making a difference? How am I impacting someone today? And God has to remind me, like, the words that you're putting on this page, it's so much bigger than the people that you could be impacting today. This is like going to help impact the hearts of women globally. So this is kind of important, April Nicole Sabio. Jody says setting in her time frame and ending work day on time. Absolutely. Yeah, having a start time and a stop time every day, super important, super important. So yeah, I love you guys with the love of Christ. Thanks for hanging out with me. This was fun. This is also new for me to be streaming on Instagram as well as all the other places in this portrait mode. So I'm hoping to do this more. I go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. So set your alarms and join me. I would love to have you. And those of you who are inside of my private community, the Live Lovely community, you guys know I go live in there on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Central. We're in a series all about listening to God. And so we're going to talk about tomorrow just some challenges with that so we can tune our ear to hear God better. So I can't wait to see you inside of there. If you aren't a part of the community and you want to join, I'll put the link in the comment section of this video. And yeah, we can rock out. But I love y'all so much. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing day. Be blessed.